Hello everyone, today I would like to show you how to create a simple composition using Photoshop and some images taken in Second Life. This is a base tutorial, so if you are an advanced user, Photoshop user, you don't need to see this tutorial. So let's go how to create a simple mask in Second Life that you can use later in Photoshop. This is really easy to do. So the first thing to do is to take off your animation override and then to choose your static animation, your favorite static animation. So in my case I like this from Enaposes St. Petersburg and I have chosen this one. Okay, so let's play inward this animation. First of all, I want to tell you that I am using this moment the Black Dragon viewer because I think it's really nice to take pictures in Second Life, and I prefer this viewer to all the other ones, at least for now. So I am using the Black Dragon viewer, and like you see, I need to adjust a bit my avatar because my feet are inside the studio. So this is really easy in Black Dragon because you just to right click on your avatar and select overhead here, and you can adjust from this tab the height of your avatar, okay, like you prefer, in the best way that fit your needs. Okay, so when we have done this, you can consider to change your lighting in Second Life because you need to choose a wing light that show your avatar skin at the best possible in the best possible way. Okay, to do this I can suggest you to use some specific wing light that you can find that you can already find in your inventory. So open your inventory in Black Dragon and you can see that you have some interesting EEP settings here. Going here, settings, and going to skies, and I suggest you choose this from name and name optimal skin and prims. So just click on here, right click, and you can, or if you are owner of the plot, you can set this win light to your parcel, or you can simply set this win light for yourself so other people won't be able to see your win light settings. Okay, so set this setting. In my case, I prefer to set this just for myself, so I click here, and now like you see your wing light change. Okay, your wing light change, and this is pretty nice in my opinion to see in the better way your avatar skin. Okay, this is a good way to improve your win light. Another way to see your avatar at best way as possible is to use LumiPro HUD to improve your lighting for your avatar. So in my case I have LumiPro, so I set LumiPro. I can set LumiPro, I can search this word on my inventory, and if you have LumiPro, you can right click on here on this folder, right click to add this folder. This is really good for your photos because it's a folder where you can find wearable lights that improve your avatar skin a lot. So if I right click on this folder and I add on my wearable things, I can see my avatar in a different way. Okay, in my case, this is can be a little bit too much light because I have chosen before names optimal skin and prim, and so in my case in this moment it's a little bit too much light, but in any case it's not bad. If you want to balance your wing light with the LumiPro lights, you can simply try in your inventory here, like before, going in settings, um, here, and choosing skies. Names, I suggest you names because all the name light are really great, but you can of course choose also other wing lights, other EEP. Another one that is great is this one, Analu Avatar Optimal. Let's try this one for example. No, this is too much light in this moment. For example, you can choose this one, neutral. Okay, neutral is much more fine if you use the LumiPro lights, wearable lights. Okay, if you use the LumiPro wearable lights, this is really nice. You need to try between different skies that you have in your inventory, seeing the various EEP that you have already in your inventory. Okay, strawberry is nice, but it's a little bit too much light in my opinion if you use LumiPro. Okay, if you use LumiPro you can also add your LumiPro hood, and you can choose also the color of your lights in a very easy way. So you can simply add your LumiPro. In this moment I am not doing a tutorial about LumiPro. This is just to see how to use it to improve your light on your avatar. Okay, so you can for example choose the color, going this, the color of your lights. So going here you have little bit rose color on your face and your body, or you can choose this and you see a little bit more green, or this is purple, blue, orange, yellow, etc. It depends what kind of a photo you think to do. So it depends also what kind of your background you think to choose. So for now, I don't know. I think I will choose a light pink because I think to do later to voodoo to take some backgrounds, because you can choose backgrounds that you can find on your web, but you can choose also some pictures on some locations in Second Life directly. I prefer to take pictures in Second Life directly because in my case I think the photo is much more credible to people, because it's possible that you see a little bit different between your avatar and your background if you choose a real background. In any case, this is not a problem. You could also fade your background to get more credibility to your photo. Okay, so for now I choose this kind of light. This is a rose, light rose, and I think it's the best for my needs. You could also choose different colors, also going here in this bar, and select also a different color set. Okay, you can also save your favorites here. Okay. Now you can also choose sorry, you can also choose what your light do on your face and on your body, choosing the different type here: butterfly, Rembrandt, rim, split, etc. So if, for example, if you go to butterfly, you have a type of lights. If you have your Rembrandt, you have another type of lights. If you have your in rim, you have another type, etc. For example, in my case, split, no, I don't like much split. I think that rim is really nice for my need. So now I can finally took my photo. In Black Dragon, you have a great tool. This great tool is poser. For example, if you would like change your head position, rotation, etc., you can do this in poser. You can also change the position of another part of your body in a very nice way, and most of all in a very easy way. Simply going in your poser that you can find here at the top of your viewer, and go to your name here and click here on start posing. When you have done this, you can click on your head, and for example you can choose the rotation of your head like you prefer in this way. This is a tool that I use very often because I often need to change the rotation of my head, and in some cases also of my arms, so I use this tool very often. For example, in my opinion, this is really nice. Okay. Okay, when you have done, you can choose this menu, and you have your preset saved. So now you need simply to click your photo. I suggest to change the lens of your shot. Simply click some times Control plus 0. So press Control plus 0 at least 3 times, okay? Control plus 0, and you change your lens. Okay. Now another thing that I suggest you to do, because okay, we can hide this one. No, sorry, hide in this way. Another thing that you can do, and that is really nice, is to rotate your camera, that allow you to have much more of your avatar in your photo. Okay. Usually in Firestorm, people rotate all the avatars, simply posing the avatar in a pose stand and rotating the pose stand. This is a great tool that just Black Dragon has, and so I suggest you to use it. You can also use again Control plus 0, and you can adjust your shot in this way, clicking on these arrows. Okay, now when you are satisfied with your shot, you can finally save this. Okay, don't forget that we did that in this way. We need to take two photos. Okay, one, this is the main photo about your avatar. Another one is the layer mask that you will use later in your Photoshop. So this is very important. You can also, if you need to save your camera position using the tool that Black Dragon gives you, you can also press F1 and you have some of the most important settings for your photos that you have here, but in this way I won't show you these settings. Maybe we will see in another tutorial. In this way, in this tutorial I want just to show how to composite an image using some pictures in Second Life. Okay, to save quickly your photo, simply press Ctrl, Shift and S together and you have your photo, and you can click here on Save to Disk. You need to choose your settings. I suggest you to save if your graphic card allows you to do it, at least to these parameters. Okay, now I can save. I prefer to save my settings in my desktop here. OIMA in red, yes, or OIMA base, because later I will have a layer mask. Okay. Now we need to save the famous layer mask. How we can do? The most important thing is not to change your camera here, because now if you have a photo studio like me with a white background, this is really easy. You need to have a photo studio with a white background behind you, and you need to set this photo studio full bright in the texture tab. Okay, this is very important. So right click on your photo studio. Okay, now go to, this is my backdrop, now go to texture. It's really important that you have here set the luminosity here. Okay, this is really important, so check this parameter here, because if you have checked this parameter here, it's really easy to create a layer mask. To create a layer mask, you need to set your wing light to ambient dark, to do this. I need to go to the old wing light settings, because I still didn't import like EEP this wing light parameter, so I don't have in this moment. So simply go to Word and go to Environment Editor and Edit Sky and go to Ambient Dark. Okay, the most important thing that you detach from yourself the lights that you previously worn with Lumi Pro. So remove from your wearable items here these lights, and remove all your lights. So if you have, for example, a face like, you can remove from your avatar. So lights. Okay, in my case I also had Lilutka face light, so detach from yourself. Okay, if you detach from yourself all your lights, now you have a perfect layer mask. Don't forget to don't change your camera position, because we need to create a perfect layer mask for your Photoshop later. Okay, so now that you have a perfect mask, you can press another one, Control Shift and S, and now we have the perfect layer mask. Save to disk. You have the previous settings, so this is okay. Now click Save As, and now go to OIMA, in my case OIMA, layer mask. Okay. Now that we have done all these things in Second Life, you can simply minimize Second Life and go to our Photoshop. So in my case, I need to open my Photoshop. Okay, and now I can open my images. So I go here, desktop, video. Okay, and now I can open my two images. Okay, now I have two images here, okay, one and this one. Now, how I can do to apply this layer mask to this image? The first thing I need to do is to rotate this image. So I go here to image, rotation, about rotation image, and go to 90 here. Okay. Now you can also adapt to your monitor in this way. Now the same things we need to do with this layer mask. So go to image, adjust, rotation, and adapt to your screen. Okay, now that you have done all these things, let's go to the first image, and we need to import here the other layer mask. Okay, the first thing we need to do with this layer mask is to invert the color, because the white color show the part of image, instead the black color hide the part of image. So we need to invert this mask. So unlock this layer, simply double click on it and click on this layer in this way. Sorry, not to click just one. Click on this layer and press Ctrl plus I. Okay, Ctrl plus I, so you invert your mask. In this way you have the perfect mask, because the white part shows your avatar and the black part hide all the rest, all your background. Okay, this is a perfect layer mask. Now that you have done this, you can simply drag your mask here, and you can position your layer mask in this way. Now we have unlock also this one, and now we have the layer mask here, but this is not good, so we need to put here the layer mask. So create a new layer mask, select the first image, so the avatar image, and then click on your layer mask here. Now you have a layer mask here, and you can now return to your layer mask in this way and click on Ctrl plus A to select all your image. Then press Ctrl plus C to copy your image, and then go to your click on the layer mask here and press Alt and click on your mask. Now you have a white canvas, and now you need to press here Ctrl plus V to pass the layer mask that you have previous copied, and now you have your mask here. Okay, so Ctrl plus A to select all, Ctrl plus C to copy. Now go to the mask, and go to Alt and click on the mask, and you have a white canvas. And now press Ctrl plus V to pass your mask. Okay, now you can deselect this one, and you have finally a great image where you can do what you want. You can choose your perfect background, you can resize your avatar in relation to the image that you choose for your background, and many other things. Okay, now we need to choose our background. Let's see how to do. The first thing I suggest you to do is to choose a image that you can find in Second Life. So choose a great location that you love and you think fits perfectly with your avatar, and take a shot of that location and use that like background, because it's much more credible for people who see your image in this way. Okay, so let's go to take our background image. Okay, now I am in this moment at Voodoo Land, that I really like because it's so realistic, and I choose the names optimal skin and prim because simply because before I have chosen the names optimal skin and prim, and so I need that my background fits perfectly with my previous photos, and this is so the best solution to select the same win light settings that you have previous chosen for your second life avatar in your base image. Okay, so now I need to wait a little bit that things will be reds here, because I don't see clearly all textures in this moment. It should be great a little bit lower my graphic settings, but I don't want to do this because I do like the way Black Dragon shows my world, and so I don't want to lower my settings, my graphic settings. I prefer to wait for a little bit that all textures will be shown on my PC. Now, in the meantime, I try to find the best angle where I can choose where I can take my photo, and so I go around to see the perfect solution for me. Oh, I do like that picture around, on the wall. It's simply great. This sim is impressive, so realistic. Not much more, not much things here, so I prefer, well, here you can also fly, so you can see the best solution for you. You can find the best solution for you in the easiest way. Oh, this part is great. Okay, this is perfect for me. Okay, now you have two options. You can find your best camera position, and then take your photo, or you can take your photo in mouse look. If you take your photo is mouse look, it's for sure realistic, since it's the point of view of your avatar, if you were inside the world. Okay, so this is really realistic, of course, but maybe you want to choose your setting, you choose your camera position in a different way, because you don't want to simply see these things, but you want to take much more things in your photo, and so in this case I suggest you don't take the photo in mouse look, but to obtain more realism, to press another time Control plus 0 to have a best, but not much like before with your avatar. For example, it's enough just one or two or twice, one or twice, because this is a landscape and not a portrait, an avatar portrait. So it's enough. For example, press one or two times Control plus 0. Okay, now choose your photo, your camera position, your best camera position. I still can't see many objects because I need to rest. I still need to rest some textures, so be sure that you have read almost everything, otherwise your backdrop won't be perfect. Okay, for example, I choose this point because I like this point. Okay, now press Ctrl Shift S another time and save to disk with these settings, save as, and go to your desktop folder. I usually use a desktop folder because it's much more simple to find things, and so I name this backdrop. Okay, backdrop. Okay, now that I have a backdrop, now you can simply go to my Photoshop. Now I have two options in this moment. The first thing I have to do is to apply this mask to my image. So right click and apply layer mask. Okay, instead this one I can cancel because I don't need at all. Okay, now we need to put our avatar to the other side where the backdrop is. So simply click on this tool, click on your avatar and drag your avatar here. Then press Ctrl Alt T to reset your avatar, and keeping pressed the Shift button, you can now resize your avatar in the best way without changing the avatar in a bad way. So now you can, when you have happy with it, you can confirm, okay, and now you can remove, so cancel this layer. Okay, now you can move your avatar where you prefer in your image. For example, I don't know, maybe here in the center of the photo. This is the best way. Now, since we have chosen the same win light settings, and now we have a perfect solution for our avatar and our backdrop. And so I suggest you to always choose the same win light settings for your avatar and for your backdrop. This is really, really important, okay? It doesn't matter if you have worn the Lumi Pro lights, but the most important thing is you have chosen the same win light settings for your avatar and for your backdrop. This is the most important thing, okay? Now that you have done this, you can edit your image in a very interesting way. For example, if I want that my backdrop fit my avatar in the best possible way, I can use great a great trick. Going here in image, adjustment, and go to colors. This is the options. Okay, it's in Italian, but you can find also in English in your Photoshop this option. So click in here, and in this part you need to choose your backdrop. That it's important. It needs to be opened in your Photoshop in a separate window, like in my case that is here. Okay, so click on your backdrop, and now you have a perfect knit of your avatar to your backdrop. Okay, but since we have chosen the same without settings, you can't see much different. You can choose some important parameters here that can help you to have a perfect solution with your backdrop. You can also uh, lower or increase the color intensity. Okay, and now to dissolve the effect, if you prefer, like you want, this is not okay, go here. Okay, okay, and when you are happy with it, simply press OK. Now, another thing I want to add to my image is a light effect. The best way to obtain this effect is to download some lights overlaid from DeviantArt and other services, like for example Shutterstock or other service that gives you overlays for Photoshop. I for sure suggest you to DeviantArt, because DeviantArt is really awesome and offers many overlays for free. So I suggest you to DeviantArt for this reason. In my case, in my folder, I have already chosen some overlays. So let's go to see. I go to File, Import. Open. For example, this light flare is great, so I open it. Okay, and now I simply move this overlay on my image. For example, here you can also resize like before, pressing Ctrl Alt T, and keeping pressed shift you can resize your image and putting where you prefer. In my case, I want to put this image here because I want that it seems that the lights comes from my left angle. So now what we need to do is simply apply an overlay, a blend system here. So for example, no multiply, but you can choose screen. Okay, screen is pretty great, but it's a little bit strong in my opinion. So if I choose my image and screen in this way, it's not so natural, and so I prefer to lower my opacity to have a better result. Okay. For example, in this way. Another great trick is, for example, to use to lower my opacity and copy my layer with a lower opacity, pressing Ctrl J, and in this way I have much more naturalistic light, instead of simply have one layer and adjusting my opacity on just one layer. So I prefer to do in this way because it's much more natural in my opinion. Okay, Another effect that we can have is adding some bokeh effect in this way. Open, for example, these city lights that are really very cool. In the same way, drag and drop on your image, Control Alt T, and you can adjust the dimension in this way and put the image where you want the lights are in your image. Okay, always keeping pressed the shift button because we don't want to have a bad effect on your image, and then click on screen. Oh my, okay, on my screen at the end. This is really cool, but another time a little bit strong, so I prefer to lower my opacity, or yes, in this way, and to duplicate my layer pressing Ctrl J, so I have a better effect in this way. Okay, and this is a simple composition. Now you can do what you prefer. For example, I want to add some shadows because it's not so natural that an avatar an avatar doesn't have a shadow below her feet, so I prefer to add some shadows. So I create a new layer here, and I simply choose a black color here and a brush, for example this one. Okay, and keep sure this is 100% here in these settings. This is important. And now you can, for example, press 1 or 2 or 3 time here, and since you have created a new layer here, you can now simply resize this layer, so this black splash in the way that we have seen before. So Control Alt T, and you can simply, for example, okay, resize in this way. Remember that Photoshop duplicate your layer, so when you have done, it's important that you cancel your duplicated layer in this way. Now you can move your shadow in this way. And the most important thing that you have to put this layer shadow below your avatar layer. Okay, another important thing to do to this layer is to go to filter and go here to and go to blur and control blur. For example, you can also 30. Like you see, it's much more natural in this way. Your shadow 40%. It's really nice 40%. Okay, it's much more natural, and you can also add some lights and shadow on your avatar, going here on your avatar layer. Okay, going here in your avatar layer. Now you can a little bit zoom on your avatar, and you can add some shadow going here. Okay, clicking here, press Alt and right click to adjust the dimension of your brush. in my case I prefer this. You can also adjust all the opacity and other parameters of your tool here. For example, this one, exposition. Okay, in this way you can add some okay, no, it's not okay. Press Control Z, Control you can always press Control Z if you do something wrong and to return to the previous setting. And you can also go in here and simply go to the right set that you have done before, and so cancel your mistakes in this way. So, in my case, I have the light that comes from the left side of my photograph. So, this in this part I have lights, and in this other part I have my shadows. So I need to create shadows here and lights here. To create shadows here, I go to this option, okay, and I can zoom a little bit to see better. Sorry, my Photoshop is in Italian, so I am not always sure about how the tool is named in English, but if you see the icons, it's really simple to find the best tool for you. Now you can pressing Alt and right click on your mouse, find the better dimension of your brush, and you can start to paint your shadow in this way, much more natural in this way. Okay. Okay, now I need to add some lights in this part. In my case, I have already some lights in the left part of my image, so it's not so necessary to add some lights. In any case, to add some lights, you simply you simply need to go here, okay, and now zooming a little bit where you want to add your lights. No. Ecco. In this way you can add some lights where you prefer. I repeat, in my case, not much, because I already have lights in that part of my avatar, so I don't need a lot. So this tool is for lights and this tool is for shadows. Remember this. The better solution is to the better solution is don't exceed a lot with shadow and lights. They need to be natural. Okay. Okay, now zoom. Okay, now we need a nice composition with an avatar, a backdrop, some lights, some bokeh effect, and I have also a shadow below my feet and some shadows and lights on my avatar, and all seems much more natural. Okay, this is really a simple composition and a way to composite your images in Second Life using two different image. In this way you can show your avatar much more nicer than simply photographing your avatar inside a scene in Second Life. And this is the reason because many bloggers use this technique to photograph their avatars. Okay. Okay, it's a very simple tutorial about how to composite images in Second Life, and maybe in the future we will see also something more difficult. It's all for now, guys. I hope this tutorial will be helpful to someone, and see you to the next video.